Tennessee has been together less than 3% of plays all season long. They start with a corner three that's off the mark. And the Gators, Dane, led by a very talented backcourt, highlighted by Walter Clayton Jr. Here's Elijah Martin. He had 18 in the previous matchup. Late in the shot clock, Clayton fires one in and out, and it's not.
A lot of offense through this guy right here, big man Alex Condon.
Wide open three for Walter Clayton Jr. Tennessee team, which was #1 in the country just a minute ago.
They've got to show patience here. Try to get a paint touch from beyond the arc.
Here's Jemai Meshack. Steps through and a block at the rim for a near steal by Florida. Or pardon me, by Tennessee. Clayton fires up a contested three. Here's Lanier off the mark. His shooting has gone ice cold. Push it a little more deliberate in road environments. Condon rejected by a Florida steal, Walter Clayton Jr. Nifty move, and he draws the foul from a
position, and one of the best blockers in the SEC. Akpara gets it right at the peak.
Clayton Jr. at the free throw line, 8th best in the SEC at 86% from the line. He is second in.
It's interested to see who would Tennessee put Jemai Meshack on the perimeter, and they've lined him up against Clayton.
He missed a practice since his torn ACL a couple of years ago. He did not practice Thursday. He was present but not a participant yet. 34 minutes a game. Nobody in the SEC is on the floor more.
He does so much.
Dubar gets into the paint, back rims it, finds his miss, and the push shot uses every minute.
But they're going to have to let him play through some defensive mistakes.
Only 11 minutes a game for Darlinson. A field goal yet. Gators are 0 for 5. Here's a takeaway. Jordan Gainey rejected at the rim. No whiff.
Really make it tough. Excuse me, that's Dubar. And then here's Gainey. Just makes an athletic play.
7 scholarship guys.
And another turnover on a perimeter pass. And even the big
2 foul participation ranks 330th in the country. And I had that conversation with him yesterday.
And Tom, as much attention that's been on Tennessee's shooting from the outside, and Chaz Lanier, Rick Barnes will tell you, we got to get more making some tough twos.
Here's Gainey with Clayton trailing him. Wide left. Tennessee is. Clayton, sidestep three, drills it for Dubar, but an offensive rebound and a corner three, and that's short. And a whistle inside.
In this game, they've got to give these fans a reason to erupt.
Dubar gets deep. Little shake, and baby hook is good. Two-man game with Martin and Condon. Double comes on Condon. Rejected!
Offensive rebounds early in this game themselves do the Tennessee Vols.
Contested jumper is an air ball from Lanier, but a 5th-ranked team in the country. Clayton off the screen. Got it! His second triple of the day.
He makes it look so.
Here's Clayton. But Clayton's on the floor a ton, and with Martin.
Is way underneath the screen, and that's just way too much space. The scouting report says jump out, bump him.
And now Gainey, downhill, challenge at the rim, picks up his second.
This is one of those ways they've got to manufacture paint points. Come off that curl, seek the contact at the but they just don't have that this year, and that's why you see a spread out offense trying to get the guards in the paint.
It builds towards Carolina Duke, and then John Calipari's return to Rupp. Gainey goes 1 of 2 from the line. Clayton through the elevator, and an illegal screen will go against Florida.
15 in white. He is just going to continue to stay on him, fight through that. He gets detached, but then comes right through and gets the hit.
Gators 3rd in the country in offensive efficiency, going against the #2 defensive efficiency team in this shape. Meshack takes it all the way for Tennessee. Sam Alexis jump hook.
I think that's a good move for him. The trans
started this game 0 for 3, including 0 for 2 from deep. Phillips hesitated.
But that's how hungry this crowd is to see them make one from deep.
Alexis, another jump hook.
Yeah.
And he got another one.
He's not your perimeter defender.
You said make a 3. This is a tennis. They shot just 24% on uncontested. That is wide open jump shots. Meshack blows up. Aberdeen spins it inside. Alexis to the corner for Clayton.
Rick Barnes has to think about using more timeouts than he normally would just because of the fatigue factor.
Both quad one losses. They lost on the road at Kentucky. They scored 100 in Rupp Arena and lost. And they,
as an O standpoint, Missouri, South Carolina gave them a run for their money as well. Both of those teams have big, strong front courts.
One thing that has helped Tennessee in a major way, you mentioned the paint advantage Florida had in their first matchup, 41-4 in the paint.
All the way to the rim, that one with the pull-up jumper.
Alexis looking inside. Very nearly came back after the plan was to redshirt him after a broken leg in the SEC tournament last year. Logo three is up.
Alexis, jump hook.
Beautiful feed from Phillips and a whistle. The first time in forever. And Oklahoma goes into the jungle to take on #1 Auburn. Kevin Stallings was the head coach. They had Luke Cornett and scoring guard Wade Baldwin on that team.
In full effect.
Martin gets cut off. He's been quiet so far this afternoon. And he gets a takeaway. Boswell with the dump inside. And a whistle and a foul on Condon Hill.
But that was all him being the head of the snake defensively, active hands, never takes a possession off. My backcourt mate Zakai Ziegler out this game. I've got to have one of the greatest defensive efforts.
And he had missed a game since 2023 when he tore his ACL. Tennessee went 3-3 without him. Trying to get things started. For this Gators team. Aberdeen contested triple and a foul on. Florida's stars are not playing like it here early on. Walter Clayton Jr. 2 for 9. Martin is 0 for 1. Here's Houck with the kick out. Elijah Martin for 3. Over the top of the backboard for the second.
And Tennessee has not been in rotation hardly at all defensively, which is a good sign for Vols.
Early three, good! And the Rocky Top crowd getting into it. Drive, working on Houck. Fadeaway push shot. Tough angle. Great D on the perimeter by Bishop Boswell, and the freshman feeds it up court. Dubar gets. He won the national championship in 2012, and he said wins here just hit harder. They mean more.
The attitude you must have in Rupp Arena.
I think that's when teams get the best out of John Calipari as a head coach, is when the rifling once again today. They've held Florida 24% the first matchup. Florida won by 30. Denial on the wing by Lanier.
They're guarding the ball so.
I think of the Meshack on Clayton matchup.
Meshack's a tough one there, man, but so is Clayton. And good job by Clayton.
The first field goal for Florida in over 5 minutes of game action. They keep trailing that script. Bishop Boswell, freshman, getting some run. Was Zakai Ziegler out? Tees one up. Florida's 18-2 on the season, 5-2 in the best conference in college. Starting with #1 Auburn. Stepped on the end line as he tried to save it. The Florida's
Tennessee went to Gainesville, but Tennessee has gotten the message in the film room. This has been an ugly game.
The spin move goes right into Houck. Tennessee had a rock fight. Meshack saves it. Phillips is there. A push ahead by Richard. Got deep and converts. Houck all over Phillips and picks up a foul 23 feet from the basket.
Which is a big number in a low-scoring game, as the Vols have not been able to convert as effectively.
And misses the front end. Elijah Martin left it short. Martin hasn't made a
best offense. Try to get him coming off some of those down screens.
Meshack turn around, rolls it home. Houck lets it fly from the top of the key. Shot it with confidence, and it pinballs into the hands of.
Don't forget one of the best wins Tennessee has on the season at Illinois, where Gainey stepped up in Ziegler's absence, was the hero. The defender's foot.
Looked like left ankle.
Yeah, turns that left ankle.
Sure, for Florida, this coaching staff has had to remind them, yeah, they were #1 and you beat them by 30.
So the last game, diving for loose balls, offensive rebounds, and said, this is how we're going to win this game. And that ranks 3rd in the country in offensive efficiency. And so for Tennessee to do this right now without Zakai Ziegler,
So Denzel Aberdeen will see more playing time with
Really big against Tennessee. I know it was a blowout, but he had 16 points in their last matchup. Dangerous six-man threat.
ACC play. Irish undefeated at 8-0. Coverage begins at noon Eastern. Across the timeline. Florida brings a double. Here's a lob, and Phillips the flush. But that one worked, and now Martin leaves it short. Rebounded by starters, Igor Milicic and Zakai Ziegler. And they're hanging with the fifth-ranked team in the country.
Does best, catching lob dunks.
What do you like on this play for Tennessee with 12 seconds left? Right side, here's his touch. Got attention on him, go inside to Phillips. He draws the foul. And he'll starters with 2 apiece.
Well, and miscommunicated up for Cade Phillips, where they need him to convert here. Tennessee just 3 of 7 from the stripe here in the first half.
Tennessee just 4 for 9 from the tee. Aberdeen all the way to the rim. Nobody stops him, but he can't quite finish. He made 2 of his last 3, and Walter Clayton started 3 for 5. They just 1 of his last 6. So here we go. Martin kicks to the corner. Alex Condon is off the mark, and Felix Okpara gets
4 times, which they've got to have. Nice backdoor
beautiful
cut.
pass too, and a layup for Jordan Gainey. 3 is short.
And you've got to have a pressure release, and that's it right there. Good read by Gainey, a great one-hand backdoor pass.
Step through. There's been a lid on that rim for the Gators, huh?
Yeah, that's a good look for
Touchdown now. Clayton with Meshack on him. Ball fake got him in the air. Tennessee a point. Gainey around the screen. Pull up. 15-footer is good. And Tennessee
On it, they know they must bury the defender. This will take pressure off their perimeter, off the three-point attack.
may be equal. Zakai Ziegler, as a driver, can create paint touches too when he's on the floor.
So they've got to add what we just showed you there to their arsenal.
Tennessee on a 14-2
for Dubar, because he's going to give up a lot of size. That's an aggressive drive through contact and one.
And a three-point play for Houghton. Is the ball less sticky with Ziegler on the bench? Oh, it goes in!
I do think they're not deferring to the point guard.
Woo. And it, Okpara guarded by Condon. They swing it the other way and get a foul. Against not touch, it would be a 3, but I believe Okpara got a fingertip on it.
Yeah, Okpara
with the Buckeyes. Handoff for Gainey. And he gets fouled on the jump shot. And
Condon 21, kind of this drop coverage. That's not going to work against him. I mean, he smells blood. If you're not going to come up.
And the Knicks, our coverage begins with NBA Countdown. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Best transfer in college basketball of the year. They'll take the shot clock into single digits. Condon whistles it to Martin for 3. Volunteers went to work. A Lanier 3, a big part of this run. Meshack off the glass. He's got a reach in will go against Tennessee. And they get Gainey.
Look at Okpara down low here. He's going to keep his man off on trying to post up, but it's really a fake screen. Keeps the defender from.
Aberdeen is able to draw a whistle. That seemingly is the only thing that has worked for Florida's offense. Number 2.
The second half. This time it's Okpara clearing space. Meshack shows I'm also an offensive threat.
Rick was in the hospital as a youngster, had his appendix taken out. He got a little restless. Nobody knew Barnes had left, and the family never got a bill for the hospital stay.
Well, all was okay with that story until the nation just heard it, and penalties and interest.
Bar up to Meshack. Okpara able to find it. Going to work on Condon. Nice touch by the big fella. In bench minutes. Houck for 3. Nothing working. A whistle on the reach in. Meshack fumbles it. Okpara picks it up, and he gets a call after Condon.
Here by Tennessee and Meshack. We mentioned earlier, I think he can really help get some of that penetration. That becomes tough to defend as well.
Last year was a 6.6 rebound performer. Came to the United States in August of 18 and was a four-star recruit. Goes 2-2.
Let's get to the rim.
Yeah, that's the second half numbers. How Parr was on the floor. He picked points, but it's taken him 12 shots. Elijah Martin scoreless at 0 for 7, and Richards
roll in the first half, sucking it up here in the second, but large credit due to Tennessee's ferocious, relentless defense. It's been sensational.
Houck won the paint. Touch pass. Here's a three. Lanier wide open. Favorite. I think it's always fascinating. I shouldn't say favorite, but a possible Final Four team. Phillips with the foul. Is you give that ball to your superstar and let him go to work.
Yeah, and they've got multiple legend Lee Humphrey, who does radio. And I talked to Lee Humphrey. I said, look, you guys perimeter, that made life so much easier for everybody on the inside. And I spent many of my years here in Knoxville.
Meshack into the orange. Condon lost it on the drive. They're going to get a reach in on Phillips.
Clean up the hand checks and the freedom of movement. But this seems to be one. Yeah, it looks like they.
And the travel gives it right back.
And you see how much Florida likes to play through their. Why their offense has been so good. More of being a distributor, dribble handoffs.
Walter Clayton is late in the first half turned his ankle on a jump shot. Near off the screen, they go the opposite way to Gainey. Shot clock at 2. Gainey got it! Aberdeen turnaround contested. Houck tip no.
He can do with his off-ball cuts, and then if you give him a ball screen, he just reads that help defender so well and knows it's late in the clock. Big time make there by Gainey.
Aberdeen's got one. Aberdeen 1 for 2 from the line. Much has been made of the SEC's dominance in the non-conference and elite play in the league. But
that helped Broome get ready for Tennessee on that big win.
Dig down from Dubar, and it turns into a. Gainey founds a wide open Dubar. And a push for Sam Alexis. He's got a half dozen.
Really good job by.
Do it. Kentucky's without Lamont Butler, their starting point guard, and defensive mastermind Lanier with his third three.
The backup quarterback more time, and I think it's been a team effort here, led by Jordan Gainey.
To the same season. 3 ball. It's again no good. And then Richard loses it.
Same way you ordinarily would with Zakai. Difference is a little bit better shooter and scorer off the ball screen as opposed to Zakai, who's a.
Bishop Boswell has extended knee today. Lanier off balance. Here's Phillips. Second chance. Boswell. Okpara on the glass. Inside. And a miss at the rim from Condon. That has been an issue for Florida in this one. Gainey on the floor.
Rick Barnes will say that's not on Boswell, that's on Lanier. The play is for him. He's got to show more fight in getting off so that way to either back cut, come off some other screens, but he can't just stay hidden in that corner.
Here's Martin. That one was halfway home. It's been that. Well, there was 3-point shooting games. Here's Lanier. And took it to the rim and drew the foul. Let's go back to their previous school and get greeted in the rude.
And heal a lot of wounds, but it's only been like 6 months.
Yes, sir.
And it's the first time seeing a Florida team that manhandled and absolutely smacked Tennessee in the Vols' worst performance of the year.
Meshack to save. Phillips touch pass. Gets it back. What a move by Tennessee. And I think this changes nationally how people are going to think about Tennessee versus the team that had lost 3 of its last 4 and started 500 in conference.
When they look like a Final Four team.
Why not? Banks closed. They're feeding off of this big orange crowd. Contested 2 for Denzel Aberdeen, his first field goal of the game.
Extra effort there. And how about this effort? Gets the deflection steal. What a give and go to finish the fast. And you are not getting out until you call for help.
I sent out to help solve it. Here's Lanier. He's got the answers. And when he is going, Phillips had 2 hands on him. Picks up his 4th.
Maybe the most underrated Thompson for the balls. It's when he gets a little lackadaisical coming off those cuts that it really has it down.
From New Oxford, Pennsylvania at the free throw line. Yeah. Chad
buddy,
Newman,
Chad
their
Newman.
athletic trainer.
As Chad Newman, did he get his that he had after that hyperextension? Didn't
Lanier
feel right.
again. And drills it again. Of old. Clayton rejected. And O'Para was out of bounds.
To tell you, I just want a full, healthy squad so coach is off my back.
Injuries and desertions. Put together some runs. They had one against Wichita State where they scored 27 straight. Clayton folded up again. Todd Golden might be thinking, we got 5 minutes and 20 seconds to get back on the plane and go back. His left foot, it was his left ankle that he turned.
It was coming kind of sideways on it, but
Gators get a ranked Vanderbilt team at home midweek.
Tom, the frustrating part, mid-conference nicks and bruises that you have, and we feel 100% for the most part coming into this left ankle.
Lanier hounded by Richard. He shook him. And a great recovery by Will Richard. And that ends a long 3-point skid for Florida. Just their 3rd make in 22 attempts here in the second half. Tennessee put up 45 threes in their loss to Kentucky.
3-point shooting team to take 45 in a game. They said no. So I think ball reversals.
It was their most ever attempted in an SEC game. 2nd most ever in school history. How no?
Taking too many shots in one-on-one play by design by Tennessee. They've kind of said, hey, we're going to take these.
Gainey steps into a 3. It's 38% overall. Aberdeen fouled by Gainey. Turnovers the game. They have lost one of the best point guards in the country. They're facing a good defensive team, and
they've been less than 30 in this game.
Meshack has been magnificent. Lanier goes baseline for the jam.
Yep. And then as the offense clicked in the second half, this home court advantage really ignited them.
3-ball 10 opponent. Comes up with it. Ends up in a corner 3.
And that creates the driving lane for Lanier. And they call that a high.
It's, you know, a highway around here that's got construction still going on for the last. Gainey again gets stuck under the rim.
Increase around here.
Walter Clayton Jr. has been a good shot. There'll be a pedestrian bridge that connects this arena to that complex.
That goes up.
You know, I want to point out a difference in the way games are officiated with regard to it's a 50-point lead. We're not going to go to review yardage or inbounds or out of bounds because they don't ever want to be in a position where their officials is generally been determined.
Well said. Thank you for the education.
Yep.
Here in the second half, I mean, to hold Florida, again, a top 5 offense in the country to just 44 points.
That today. Gainey the board. Lost to UCF in the 23 NIT. They lost. Gainey downhill. Lob and flush and an exclamation point. Contested 3 is in and out. Florida's going to send you to a sold-out crowd in Oxford, Mississippi for a big SEC showdown. That'll be the end of this one. This will be the 6th straight home win for Tennessee against the top 5.